Okay, this is a practice CCA for Algebra 2. Okay? It's on quadratic functions. So example 1, we have a soccer ball that's being kicked. Okay? The shape of its path is a parabola. Okay, the soccer ball is being kicked. The shape of its path is a parabola. And it's modeled by this equation right here. Negative 0.01x squared plus 0.9x. Okay? Where x is the distance traveled in feet, and h is the height of the ball in feet. Okay? So part A, at what x coordinate must the vertex lie? Well, that's the axis of symmetry. So you're going to do x equals opposite of b over 2a. Okay? So opposite of b over 2a. So negative 0.9. Divided by 2 times a, which is 2 times negative 0.01. That gives you x equals negative 0.9 divided by negative 0.02. And then when you do that out, you get x equals 45. Now, put all your answers in complete sentences, please. And also, notice the diagram above. X equals 45 looks like it's right. I mean, because it's halfway in between 0 and 90. So you can just look at the graph if you wanted for this one. But I think you should do it out anyway, just to be sure. Okay. So the x coordinate of the vertex is 45. That one you didn't need units because the way it was worded, what x coordinate must the vertex lie? It must lie at 45. What is the maximum height of the soccer ball? So whenever you hear like maximum or minimum, you should be thinking vertex and need the y value of the vertex. So let me just copy down the original problem above. H equals negative 0.01 x squared plus 0.9x. You're going to substitute your x value from part A in. So I'll do negative 0.01 times 45 squared plus 0.9 times 45. Order of operations time. 45 squared is 2025 times negative 0.001, so you're doing 45 squared equals 2025 times negative 0.01, and you get h equals negative 20.25 plus 0.9 times 4.5. I mean 0.9 times 45. That should be a 45. That's not a point, that's a 45. Okay, 0.9 times 45 is plus 40.5. So that means you get h equals 20.25. So the maximum height of the soccer ball is 20.25 yards. Okay. Put that in the sentence. The maximum height of the soccer ball is 20.25, and then put the units, yards. It says that above. Or is it feet? Yeah, it is feet. I don't know why I'm thinking yards. Feet. It says feet above. Feet. 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 Okay. Okay, part C. What is the height of the soccer ball? A quarter of the way through its flight. So think about it for a second. Since you're starting at the ground, If halfway, the x value is 45, then you want half of a half. So you want half of 45, so you're going to use 22.5 for x, okay? So let me just recopy the equation again. And if the x value of 45 corresponds to halfway, we want half of 45, so we want 22.5 for x. So h equals negative 0.01. You're going to use 22.5 for x. Then you're going to follow the order of operations, so 22.5 squared, and then do that number times negative 0.01. Don't round until the end. And then you have 0.9 times 22.5, so plus 20.25. So you're going to get the height equals 15.1875. It does not tell me what to round for here. If you want to round it to 15.2, I mean, that's fine. I'll say the height of the soccer ball a quarter of a way through its flight is 15, I'll put it all out, 1875 feet. I almost said yards again. I don't know why I keep thinking yards. Feet. Okay, what is the height of the soccer ball halfway through its flight? You don't have to do any work here because you already got the vertex. Remember, the vertex equals 45 and then 20.25. That is the height of the soccer ball halfway through its flight because you're starting at the ground. Okay? So the answer is the y value of the vertex for this one. The height of the soccer ball halfway through its flight is 20.25 feet. Okay. What is the height of the soccer ball 3/4 of the way through its flight? Okay. Now think about it. It should be the same exact answer as C, because 1/4 is the same as 3/4 for this diagram because you're starting at the ground. Okay. Well, let's do it out just to be sure. I'm going to copy down. Oops. I'm going to copy down the original problem. And what are you going to use for x? If you think about it, 45 is halfway, 90 is the full way. So you want halfway in between those two numbers. You can think about it like that. Or if you think about it, take 45, the halfway point, okay, and then add on 22.5, which is half of it. No matter how you think about it, you're going to use 67.5 for x. So 67.5 squared, and then 67.5 right there. Order of operations time, 67.5 squared times negative 0.01 gives you negative 45. Don't round until the end. 0.5625. Don't round yet. Definitely don't round yet. Plus 0.9 times 67.5 be plus 60.75. When you add these, you do in fact get the same answer as part C, which is what should happen. And let's put that in the sentence. The height of the soccer ball 3/4 of the way through its flight is 15.1875 feet. Or F, what is the total horizontal distance the soccer ball will travel? There's two ways to think about it, okay? You can do 2 times 45, which is your answer from part A, equals 90. Think about it like that. Or you could always just look at the graph for this one, okay? 0 to 90 is 90. Or you can try solving this for set equal to 0 and solve that and factor, but I wouldn't do that. I would just do 2 times 45 from part A equals 90, or just look at the graph, okay? And put it in a sentence. The soccer ball will travel 90 feet horizontally. I keep thinking yards. "90 feet horizontally." Okay, that was the longest problem by far. The next ones will be quicker. Okay, let's move on to examples 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now these next 4 examples are connected. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 4 birds are flying in the air. We have robin, we have blue jay, we have Tweety bird, and we have woodstock. You want to know which bird flew the highest and which bird traveled the longest distance horizontally. Let's start with robin. Now this one's easy, okay? Okay, that's robin's path, the height in yards. Maybe that's why I keep thinking of yards. That's the height in yards, and that's the distance in yards on the x-axis, height on the y-axis. What is robin's maximum height? That's the y-coordinate, so it would be 30 yards. Okay, so robin's maximum height is 30 yards. What is robin's total distance traveled? Robin is going from 0 to 40. So robin traveled 40 yards. We're going to need to refer back to that later because at the end we're going to need to see who flew the highest and who flew the farthest. Okay. Let's move on to blue jay. Blue jay launches from 5-0, reaches a maximum height of 25 yards, and lands at the point 38-0. So let me just draw this so you can get a complete picture of what's going on with blue jay. I'll go by 5s and I'll label every other one. Do you have to do this? No. I'm just doing it to show you. So this is the distance in yards right there. This will be the height right there. I'll do the same labeling. Every other one I'll label. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Okay. So it says blue jay starts at 5-0 right there. And blue jay lands at 38. And Blue Jay reaches a maximum height of 25 yards. So halfway in between 5 and 38 would be 16.5, be 21.5. So at around 21.5, let's say over here, Blue Jay reaches a maximum height of 38. So this is Blue Jay's path right here. Again, you don't have to do all this, but the maximum height that Blue Jay reaches of 38 is not correct, is it? No, the maximum height should be 25, not 38. Oops. So let me fix that up really quick, and then I'll redo that. Okay, let me fix that up. All fixed, okay? We don't even need to do this graph. I'm just doing it just to show you. So I made a mistake right there, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, okay? I'm just doing this just to show you what's going on. Blue Jay is going from 5 to 38, okay? Going from 5 to 38. So that means that Blue Jay is traveling 33 yards. And Blue Jay reaches a maximum height of 25. It says that in the directions. That's why I labeled that as 25. But again, you don't have to even do that. I'm just doing that just to show you. So the maximum height is 25 yards. Okay. The maximum height is 25 yards. Okay. Let's move on to number 4. Number 4, Tweety bird's flight path can be modeled by the quadratic equation y equals negative x squared plus 14x minus 40. Okay. We are going to need to find the maximum height. You're going to need the vertex. Okay. Let's get the vertex. So first you need the axis of symmetry. X equals opposite of b over 2a. Opposite of b would be negative 14. Divided by 2 times a, 2 times negative 1. So negative 14 divided by negative 2 gives you x equals 7. That's the x value of the vertex. Now we need the actual vertex, so let me just recopy down the formula. Let's replace the x with 7 from this number right there. Negative 7 squared plus 14 times 7 minus 40. Order of operations, 7 squared first, then times negative 1. 7 squared is 49, times negative 1 is negative 49, plus 14 times 7 is plus 98, and then minus 40. 49 minus 40 is negative 89, plus 98 equals 9. So y equals 9. That is the maximum height. Let's label that below. And now to figure out how far the bird is flying, you want to figure out when the bird is at 0, because the bird is at 0 in the beginning and the end.
For a couple announcements this afternoon. Football listening and practice has been canceled for today. Also, there is no JV tennis match and no tennis practice. Thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to replace the y with 0 because the bird is on the ground and has a height of 0 at the beginning and at the end of its flight. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out a negative 1. It's going to leave with x squared minus 14x plus 40. Now I'm going to factor this trinomial. Find two numbers that multiply to 40 and add to negative 14. Pause the video if you need to. Multiply to 40, add to negative 14. X minus 4 times x minus 10. And now you set each one equal to 0 and you solve. X minus 4 equals 0. X equals 4. X minus 10 equals 0. X equals 10. So what that means is the bird is on the ground at 4 and at 10. So this is the bird's path. 4 and then 10. The maximum height is 9, in case you're wondering. And the axis of symmetry 7 is right in the middle. But bottom line, the bird is flying from 4 to 10, so the bird traveled 6 yards. Okay, last one. The maximum height for Woodstock. This is the table right here for Woodstock. The maximum height is 38. Okay, 38 will be the maximum height. Okay, so 38 yards, maximum height. Total distance traveled, just look at the table. The bird is going from 5 to 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. So the bird traveled 8 yards. All right. Okay, and now final 2 questions. Which bird flew the highest? Okay, let's look at the 4 birds that we did. Okay, robin had a maximum height of 30 yards. Blue jay had a maximum height of 25 yards. Tweety bird had a maximum height of 9 yards. And finally, Woodstock had a maximum height of 38 yards. So which bird flew the highest? Woodstock. And finally, which bird traveled the furthest distance? Let's look at all 4 of them again. Robin traveled 40 yards. Blue jay went 33 yards. Then we had Tweety bird, only went 6 yards. And the last one, Woodstock, only went 8 yards. So robin traveled the furthest. Yes, sir. And there you have it. That's the practice CCA on quadratic functions.